Welcome to the AR-15 podcast. This show is for you if you just bought your first AR or if you've been building them for years. There is something we can all do to take our black rifles to the next level. My name is Nick Dooley, and I am joined tonight by my co-host, Garth Over.
How are we doing tonight?
Oh, we are just finer than frogs here, buddy. How are you doing?
Well, you know, I was having a good day until I saw someone from my past, and I don't want to dive too much into it, but let's just put it this way. If I had to pee and they were on fire, I'd hold it.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be mean, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But I do have something that really grind my gears, man, and we'll talk about it. How you been? Have you done anything fun in guns, man?
Oh, have I done anything fun in guns? Let's see. Since we talked last week, I did make it to the range. I did a little bit more carbine work, just nothing special, just did some drills. Went out, did a couple carbine drills, did some pistol drills, working on footwork and getting heart rate elevated, doing those types of things. So we got those things up and running. We did the other stuff. Also, I should comment on, for anyone who's watching live, please note that I know this episode says that it is Cool Fire Trainer. Unfortunately, it is not. And we found out right before the show that due to an unfortunate set of circumstances, they would not be able to join us tonight. So the live audience sees this as Cool Fire Trainer. The listening audience on the podcast will see this as something else entirely.
Something that we're not sure of yet. But we have ideas.
Oh, we have a couple ideas.
We have ideas. Not 100%.
Yeah. But so anyways, Garth, tell me about your what ground your gears today.
Man, I tell you what. So it's no secret that I like to trade guns. And so today I went to our local runnings in Pier to, check out what they might have. I have a few handguns that, well, while they're super nice, I've tried to sell them on my own. No one's very interested in them right now. So I went to runnings to maybe do a little trade. And as soon as I walked in the door, I was met by this teenage kid who worked there, and he goes, "Hey, sir, you have a bag. Do they have any guns in them?" And of course, yeah, I could have been a smart ass and gave him some kind of answer, but I was like, you know what? I just don't feel like being that guy today. So I went, "Yeah, I do. What about it?" And he goes, "Well, you have to have an escort if you want to go back to the gun shop back there." I said, when did the policy change? That's never been the issue before. I've always came in with a firearm. I've walked to the back. If I trade it, or I don't trade it, then once they know I have a firearm in the bag, they have to escort you to the front. Okay, whatever, fine. I think it's dumb, but it's their policy. And so the kid goes, "You got to have an escort." I said, "No, I'm going to do my shopping. I'll go back there. I'll be fine." And so I go back, and I'm in the dog section looking for some treats for my puppy. And all of a sudden I look behind me, and there's this employee standing there watching my every move. And I'm like, "Can I help you?" And they go, "Well, we have to escort you back to the gun department." I'm like, "It's 20 yards away. I think I'll be fine." She goes, "That's store policy, man. We have to take the guns." I said, "Well, okay, here's the thing. I have shopping to do, so we can do one of two things. Either you can come with me and do all my shopping around the store, or I can watch you take my bag of guns to the counter." And she goes, "Well, I don't want to do that, so I'll take the gun." Well, he goes, I don't even know if I can take the guns." So she has to call the upper management in her ear, because they all wear the earpieces like they're the Secret Service now. And she goes, "Okay, yeah, it's fine. I can take the bag." I said, "Okay, grab it." And so she grabs my whole shopping cart. And I said, Whoa. I said, "You could take the bag. I didn't say anything about my cart. I need this to shop." And then she looked baffled. She goes, "Well, I don't know if I can touch the guns." I said, "How are you going to get them from the shopping cart to the counter? You're going to have to pick the damn thing up, right?" So I might have pissed her off, but she grabs the bag. She goes back. I watch her walk to the back counter. She sets them down on the counter. Fine. I go back there. Well, I'm kind of pissed now at this point. So I don't do the trade. I go, "All right, guys, let's go. You got to escort me to the front door." They escort me to the front door where I've got to check out anyway. And then the escort leaves me in a line of like 30 people. So I'm like, oh, yeah, you guys did a great job escorting to make sure those guns didn't do anything at all. Holy cow. Now, I get it. It's store policy, possibly. I don't know. But that policy doesn't trump the Constitution per se. And maybe I'm just getting a little bit into it because I've been watching a lot of those First Amendment audit videos, which I love. I think they're hilarious. I love watching them. But here's what really pisses me off about the whole thing. While, yes, I had a gun bag, it wasn't a gun case. If I would have had a strap over my shoulder with them connected to it, it could have been considered a satchel or a purse. It's 2025. You don't know what someone's doing nowadays. But the fact is that every woman that walks in that store, they don't ask them if there's a gun in there because that would be wrong. But if I walk in with a bag, automatically it's a gun. And so, yeah, I'm a little pissed about the whole situation. Kind of want to call corporate on the matter and just raise holy hell about it. Is it going to change anything? No. Am I going to feel better about it? No. Am I going to do it anyway? Probably. And that's what ground my gears about this week. But beyond that, I've had a pretty good week in guns. I haven't done a lot of shooting. I cleaned my gun room. I can actually see all the way to my wall for the first time because my floor is clear. My gun desk is clear. I've got 2 guns I've been working on this week. Set up my sonic cleaner in the basement. Got that rolling now because it's competition season. And I got to clean stuff up for that. Oh man, so many things. Came down today and picked up a levered gun from you. Super stoked about that. It's a G-Force. I'm really not sure if it's worth a damn yet or not, but it was half the price of a Henry. So I guess we're going to find out.
So the store in question is Runnings, which is a chain. It's like a Fleet Farm, Tractor Supply, kind of do everything farm, hardware, clothing, general store. They have a little bit of everything there, and it's just they don't bother you if you're carrying concealed or anything like that. It's because I walk in there carrying concealed all the time, and they never say anything about that.
I do too.
They don't even say anything if you walk in open carrying. It's just Garth got caught with a bag full of guns, and
all of a sudden I had to have a
day.
babysitter. Yeah.
Well, Garth, there's been times where you should have had a babysitter.
Yeah, but today was not one of them.
Yes, Air Drew, it is definitely a redneck department store.
Oh, it's 100% what it is. And usually it's a fantastic place, and I have nothing but good things to say about the store as a whole. I mean, the people that work in the gun department, I've had quarrels with before, but that's just because they're uninformed. Because they work there, they don't actually live the experience, I should say.
Yes, that is correct. And it's just one of those where they have the guns, the average gun store employee there who will tell things that like make my teeth cringe, like grind and hurt.
Yeah. They heard it from a third party who heard it from YouTube or something of that matter, and all of a sudden they're the expert. I've called them out on things before, and they've not appreciated it. And while I don't necessarily like to do a lot of business there, I am in the market of trading guns a lot. And sometimes you cannot sell firearms because, well, people just might not be interested in the things I have because I have a unique taste, if you guys haven't figured that out by now. So.
Yep, I was... those things happen, and Garth does have some eclectic taste, we'll call them.
Oh, yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, and I say, like, hey, I have guns I would trade as well. And then Garth laughs at me because he knows how well that would work.
Well, I didn't find it funny that you said you were going to trade guns and how well it worked. I find it funny that you said you trade guns because there's 2 types of gun people in the world. There's you and there's me. There's guys who buy guns and then they just keep them forever, never until, the next generation gets their hands on them and they sell them or do whatever they want. And there's myself where I go, that gun's been in my safe for 6 months. I haven't shot it. I actually don't really mind shooting it or don't like shooting it. So it's just going to go down the road. It's going to find a new forever home and I'm going to get something I actually want for the next 6 months.
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, I shoot the crap out of this thing. And then I'm also going, I I have this, and this is a really solid moose rifle, and I'm going to keep this back here for moose. And
Hey, we get a few moosin that run through the area once in a while. It's because they're sick and demented in the head and they come all the way down here. But we do have moosin.
but hey, I just I've traded one gun off in my entire life, and I find myself occasionally wishing I still had it. And that is a tale for another time, just because it's nothing fantastical. It wasn't even a good gun. It was actually a bolt gun that I hated. Like
Mm-hmm.
I did not like anything about it. It wasn't that it was inaccurate, it just did not fit me. Wasn't super into the caliber, and it was a Ruger M77 and 30-06 with a odd size stock, because it wasn't really a youth model and it wasn't really a compact, but it wasn't really like normal human sized.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't like it. Like it wasn't my jam. And I traded that for my very first 223, which is a bolt gun, which I don't think I've shot in 10 years.
Hey, that's fair. That's fine. I totally get it. I've traded more guns than I've lost track, honestly. How many guns I've traded and sold over the years.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, and you've known me what 12 years, coming up on. I mean, we've pretty much known each other since your daughter's been born. So
Yeah. And I don't think you've ever known me to get well. I have. You've seen me sell one gun in that time that was mine, but it
mm-hmm.
wasn't really one that I bought to have. I kind of bought it as a gun I was planning on selling.
Yeah, no,
You've seen me do a couple of those, and those were like custom project guns where, like, I that Ruger standard, the which was what was it, a Model 2,
mm,
because it, and Ruger Mark 2, and I bought that on a sheriff's sale. I bought that and a 1022 for $100, and I took it apart and then I Cerakoted it OD or World War II OD green.
oh yeah, the revolver. I remember that.
Oh, it was a semi-auto
Oh
22.
okay, I thought that was the revolver you'd found under. Well, they'd found under the seat and you restored that or whatever.
Yeah, and we sold that to a buddy of ours, or I did, because he was like, "Oh man, that's awesome." I already had a newer version of that pistol.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and test out some of my Cerakoting skills," and wound up looking really cool. Like that looked really nice by the time it was done. And I just had a couple other weird little. I bought it more as the project and sold them for more money than I had into them.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's called capitalism, I believe.
yeah, that's the plan. That was the plan when I started to do things, and then I was like, oh man, you know what? I turns out I don't. I'm not artistic enough to paint guns well, to do
Well,
things that people want.
I've seen some of your works, and you know what? They turned out good enough, and you've done some good work. So I think you have it in you.
Yeah, I like I did our the John Deere gun for a buddy of ours. I've done a
Yeah.
couple other like custom Cerakoting things, and then people started asking me to. No, that's the problem. Is I wasn't autistic enough to paint them. Like,
Yeah. The
I,
tism wasn't strong enough.
like I could paint them, but I couldn't do the art, like fancy stuff, like some of the things Garth has hanging behind him.
Mm.
And like I'm way more now on the like I haven't done it yet, but we may see a short coming up soon about me Kryloning a rifle and just painting it, because why not? And have a Krylon, when you really care, you give it the Krylon touch.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's only been two guns I've ever had seller's remorse with. One was my M2, 100% Benelli M2. Never should have got rid of that gun. Still haunts me to this day. And then my SR 556, my first real AR-15. I got rid of it because I thought it was too heavy, and now all I really want is a nice bench 223, and I want it. I want that specific model because it was such a fun gun to shoot. And well, I don't have it anymore. But while I was at Nick's house today, we did, something that is considered a great movie quote from a 1987 film called Dances with Wolves. I believe it's 87, right?
Ish in there.
Ish. I'd have to look it up for sure. But I got this sweet knife in what would be called a good trade. And as much as I want to talk about knives tonight, we're not gonna do that.
It's 1990 film.
1990. Okay, I was 3 years off. That's not horrible. But anyway, yes. Knives. Just a little spoiler. In a few short weeks, we're gonna be talking maybe a little bit more about these things.
Yeah, and I have routinely, given a fair ration of shit to someone because
it's me. He's talking about me.
It's me. Hi.
Hi.
The problem. It's me.
I'll own that. I'll own that shit all day long.
Yeah. I have routinely gone back and said, like, hey, like, if my hands are full or something, I've asked him for a knife. He's like, I don't carry one of those. And I'm like, why don't you carry a knife? And it's like, well, why would I carry a knife? And I'm like, in case there's a cheesecake.
I mean, I do like cheesecake. I'm lactose intolerant, but I still like cheesecake. It's great. I mean, to be fair, yes, I carry a knife. Well, I have knives in my house. I have knives in my vehicles. I have knives in my tractors. I have knives in my trucks. And usually, 90% of the time, I'm in one of those places. However, the other 10% of the time, I'm not. And that's when I look at Nick or our other buddy Paul and go, hey, I need your knife. And they both just kind of give me the eye roll and the side. And they're like, you need to start carrying one of these. I'm like, I don't need to carry a knife when I have you.
You have said that about multiple things.
I have.
Like, and I keep waiting for I don't need to carry a gun because I have him.
Oh, no, I'll carry a gun all day long. That's because I'm that guy for a lot of our friends that, when we don't hang out together, they're like, oh, do you have a gun on you? Well, no, Garth does. So you're relying on him? Yeah. And then they look at me because they know me and they're like, uh-huh. And I'm like, shut up.
No one ever asked me that question.
No. I mean, there's a few. Our friend group is getting better at it. Mostly because I think you and I have given them so much crap, they just caved. But
was it we bullied them into carrying firearms?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I was gonna say no one has ever been like, so are you carrying a gun? But I think that's because anybody comfortable enough to ask me that question already knew that.
No, I definitely know that because when we traveled to State Darts a month ago, Joe and I didn't travel together, but we were both down there, and we knew people from the same town, obviously, and they'd all look at me and they'd see a no gun sign, and they'd look at me and just wink. I'm like, why are we winking at me? And they're like, oh, 'cause I'm like, yeah, let's not make it obvious that we all know.
Yes, indeed. And so in the chat, we're talking about this, and we're talking about someone who was actually in one of the greatest gun movies of all time, and paying some respects to Val Kilmer.
Oh, dude, yeah. I didn't realize he was only 65.
Yeah, and had like cancer.
Yeah, well, I knew that. I knew he was sick. I just didn't realize he was only 65. I mean, and nowadays, that's kind of young.
That's because we're getting old.
Well, that too. But I mean, we were always the same age apart. So.
Yes, Clucker, you need to make that before Garth makes it and wears it to GunCon.
Oh. Now it's just a race. He's going to show up with one. I'm going to show up with one. We're going to see who has the cooler design.
No, because we're actually, before we do that, like, let's actually have this one not the screen printing lady.
Well, fine.
Like, let's make a proper shirt.
I'm wearing an Arm to Bear shirt that she made, and I love this shirt.
I know you do.
Actually, I had a little kid ask me at Runnings today. He goes, Daddy, what does arm the bears mean? And I looked at him like, I like bears. What's your problem? And his dad starts laughing. He goes, son, it's a joke about the Second Amendment. And I like that shirt. I was like, yeah, I like this guy. He's cool.
Uh, yeah. No, so uh
Barbecue sexy is my size. If you don't know what that means 5X because the shirt I'm wearing now is a 5X. They run small, so I gotta get 5X. I'm a sensitive soul.
and I'm a 2X kind of guy.
You are too. I mean, I'm a 3X regular shirt guy, but she does shirts for smaller people than I, so she gets things that shrink from China.
China.
China, yes. Say
Uh
China with the hand enunciations.
yes. So well, Garth, as we keep going here, we could talk about t-shirts and what else grinds your gears.
We could, but what we should really talk about, Nick, is Patriot Patch. PatriotPatch.co for all your patch needs. Guys, if you are not part of the Patch of the Month Club, I don't know why you're not. It's a $15 subscription. And here's the thing about the Patch of the Month. They are exclusive for that month. It means it's a limited time run. And if you want that cool patch of the month, like the one Nick's holding, I actually checked out their website today. They have a sweet Easter Bunny one coming out that's kind of like the Energized Bunny, but it's got guns because that's what we believe in. Go join Patch of the Month Club because that's the only place you're going to get them. They have awesome PVC patches, high quality patches. They also come with a laminate sticker that you can slap on your gun safes or your cabinets or your truck. Do whatever you need to do with it. And then they have this little signature card that actually spells out what they're actually going to give you the rest of the year, too. Really cool stuff. So go check out Jake and all the guys at Patriot Patch, patriotpatch.co.
Yes, indeedy. And they are coming up on, I believe, a large anniversary. Like I think they just had their 10-year anniversary, and the first patch that they really released, you have a tin sign of, Garth, and it was inspired by Val Kilmer in Tombstone.
Man, I don't think I have that specific one on my patch wall, but they do have one of the four guys in Tombstone as they're walking in the street scene, and it says loyalty above all. It is one of my favorite patches of all time. But yes, I have the tin sign right here. I'm your Huckleberry. If you haven't watched Tombstone in a while, and by a while I mean when you're home and you're bored at 2 a.m. and it's on TBS or TNT or whatever, definitely go. I think it's on one of the things. I saw it come up on my home playlist tonight. So yeah, Tombstone, what a great flick. Oh, so good. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it is streaming right now on Hulu.
Perfect. Go watch it.
There you go.
After the show.
Say when. Because you're a daisy if you do. Anyways, no. So Garth, we were talking a little bit, and we're actually rolling into this pretty good, and something that could come in for our short circuit topic tonight. It was a conversation you were having with a friend of ours, and we were actually kind of getting into it, talking about even with paint and modifying your firearms. And I believe you were talking about like when is too far.
Yeah, no, I mean, the great thing about any AR platform, whether it's the AR-15 or the AR-10, and the variety of calibers you can do with it, when is the modification done? Like, how perfect is too perfect? Because I don't know if you do this, Nick. I know I do this all the time, and the buddy we were talking to, or that I was talking to tonight, does this, where we'll just open up the gun safe and we'll go, man, that's solid, dude. I can take that thing 500 yards. I don't know why I would touch it. And then you get this crazy idea that you need to swap scopes or change a handguard or a muzzle brake or, put a different trigger in. And then all of a sudden your perfect creation might become a little less perfect. Or so I guess where is the line? Do you draw a line and say enough is enough on that gun? If you're a single gun owner, I guess I get you might not want to do that, but I know you have maybe more than one AR-15. I might have more than one AR-15. So AR Drew says no gun is ever finished. I mean, is it though? Because I don't know. Yeah, definitely a muzzle brake, dude. Um, so anyone in the live chat that might be the fellow I was chatting with, and while I think his gun is pretty dang nice, and I didn't realize it wasn't a 15, it was a Beowulf, I believe.
12.7 by 42.
Yeah, and so now I understand the whole idea of the brake on it, but wow, that thing's it's like a California howdy. It is right there.
So you say that, and I'm going to go through and say I know that I may dabble in working on guns or what I do or modifying a little bit more than the average bear. Like I have no shame in saying that. I have been known to kind of push the limits on what may or may not be acceptable with something. And
Oh,
I've taken guns to the point that like we have moved beyond what is safe and correct. And and then we also like you're talking about doing stuff, and I see somebody here in the chat where they're like some things are best left alone. And I'm not going to call anyone out when I do this, but I'm just going to put this image on screen here and say when we say some things are best left alone, sometimes muzzle brakes are there, sometimes things are just made to be amazing. And this little 32 on screen is definitely made to be amazing.
That is something.
Yes, but so since I have dabbled in things, I have guns that I have taken to a limit that I probably wouldn't. I don't know if I would push another one that far.
Mm-hmm.
I have a handgun that's that way, and I still love it. Like I think I'm in a like every once a quarter I look up the price to have it milled for a red dot, and it's because I'm like I should just have this milled for a dot because I should get back into shooting it in competition. And you know what? That trigger is just so amazing, and then I pull it out and I'm like, oh yeah, that trigger is amazing. It is so amazing that I could never use this for anything but competition because it is probably not safe.
No, in that regard, I totally get it because my impulse always happens during the winter more than anything because then I'm down in my gun room more. I'm spending more time down here. I'm organizing, cleaning, and things of that nature. And so I open up the safe to get the stuff out and move it. And that's when I always get the itch to do it. And so I don't go to the range and properly test everything or shoot those guns enough to remind myself why I did that modification in the first place. And so I always end up screwing myself over in that regard because I go, it was so perfect. Why did I change that? Why did I move that hand grip, to M-lock positions? Or why did I put that muzzle brake on there? And so I get just throwing generic stuff on there if you have an end goal and money is, an issue because everyone, needs more money and they need more money so they can buy more toys in the gun world. I get that. But overspending on brakes and certain items just to have them on there until you get your final product, I don't know. I've done it. I'm guilty of it. I know I am.
But you know what you can do to make sure that you don't overspend? And that's you can go to vzgrips.com. The unique
Mm.
features of VZ Grips, they're machined from a solid block of G10, and G10 is great because it's durable and doesn't get slippery when covered with mud, blood, or sweat. The 17-degree grip angle and wide variety of textures from mild to extreme. And color options as well as shorty options are available. 1911 grips with extreme customizability, standard slim palm swells, thumb notches, safety cuts, bottom profiles, and more. More than 25 textures and 27 colors are available, as well as grips for my beloved Berettas. And there is one coupon code that is good for 15% off all handgun and rifle grips. And that code is AR-15 podcast. And we have a Rumble rant from Dusky. And he says, no, sell gun now.
I can't be too upset with that last statement you made because I recently used our promo code because I now have my 5th VZ grip on the way for my competition rifle that is over on my table right now. And the only reason I'm changing the grip, it has a VZ grip on it. Don't get me wrong. I love that grip. You know why I bought a different one?
Because you wanted to be more aggressive.
No. Hell no. It was the wrong color.
I thought it was because you wanted it to be more aggressive.
No one likes sandpaper.
That is a lie.
Sandpaper has a use. It's to smooth things out. The palm of your hand is not one of them.
I happen to love the VZ grips that I have.
I know. You also probably liked the nails on a chalkboard as a child too.
No, I did not.
Or what's that? Is it Bruce Almighty when he's touching his eye? No, that's Ace Ventura. Yeah.
Oh, like this stuff?
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. I can't put contacts in, but I can do that. It's weird.
Yeah, contacts, no problem.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Noises are a problem, especially way more so now.
That's funny because you wear hearing aids.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, hold on a second here. Zapata has Rumble Rant, and just so you guys know, sometimes the Rumble Rants don't show up in the StreamYard, so I can't put them up on screen. But Zapata says, what do you guys think about Blackout Zero Defense Trigger? I'm debating between that one and a Geisley SSAE and the Rise Armament RA-434. I'm a beginner competition shooter, steel plate competitions. So I have to look up the Blackout Zero.
I've never heard of that.
So the Geisley, I have historically talked a bunch of shit about the Geisley triggers, and it's not because they're a bad trigger at all. It's purely because I am I had issue with Geisley fanboys. And it was, oh, this thing does this. It's so amazing. And then I put my personal favorite trigger in there, and they couldn't tell the difference. So that's where I was like, oh, whatever. I will say that I have run a Rise Armament in a couple guns, and I have always had really good luck with the Rise triggers. I think they were kind of a sleeper. And I would say go with the trigger shoe you think you're going to like the most. And then from there, this is going to sound counterproductive, but I'm going to tell you to go with the most economical version, because if you decide to trade it, you can always come back and trade it later. And it's like, okay, well, I honestly think all of those are super high quality options. And
the other thing, if you do trade that gun, I'm just saying, if you do, keep those triggers, those old stock triggers. I have a pile of them now that Nick will be replacing if I ever trade a gun.
Yeah, I have a pile of triggers. And yeah, it's so Vince says that Rise stuff is made there in Oklahoma, and they donate stuff to prize tables. They're cool. I started running them on what would have been way back in like 2010. no, 2011 maybe, when I built my long range gun, I put I put my first rise trigger in, and that's what I started running then. And I've always had good luck with them. And Clucker says just like DD, and he's not talking about Dooley Defense, he's talking about Daniel Defense. A popular, well-known brand. Yeah, they're good, but is it worth the money? And I would say that I don't have any experience with the Blackout Zero Defense. Rise has never done me wrong, and especially if you're just getting into it. If you're just getting into it, a lot of times a trigger's going to outperform the shooter. But just, unless you're shooting, like here it is, the worst trigger you can get next to a straight one in a rat grade M4 is probably the DPMS Sporticle trigger. Like, they cast those with sandpaper just to make sure that they're crap. And I've seen people that when they get into shooting, especially if you're going fast, lightweight is good, but crispness doesn't matter. And pushing those things through, I'm sorry, I just like locked up for a second because I was trying to think of how to phrase this. When you're moving really like in the heat of competition, if you're shooting fast, you don't notice the trigger as much as you think you might.
No, that's 100% fair. Adrenaline's pumping. You're more target focused than trigger pull focused. I mean, it sounds weird to say that, but it's true in my personal experience.
Yeah, and I say that as somebody who's spent a lot of money on triggers over the year, and yeah, it was brain buffering, Vince. That's what we'd say we'd do. Is I was brain buffering for a second, but
and don't get us wrong, a light trigger in a competition gun is fantastic to have because obviously, yeah, when you're showing your buddies or you're testing at the range.
Well, and even at that, I've had it where my lighter triggers I can get faster split times with.
Oh no, you absolutely can.
It's so just as a side quest here as we go through. We were out at the range I was out at the range with our good buddy Pastor Craig, and we were talking, and I brought out my Beretta, and just because I hadn't shot my M9A3 in a while, and we were talking about him last week, and it's like, all right, I'm feeling a little nostalgic. I'll bring this boy out, and I was taking it out and shooting it, and Craig looked at me and laughed because I went over and I put the, I bump fired the Beretta. Like, I just went down and pushed into it and was like, and so Zapata says in the moment you feel a difference compared to a 5.5 pound. I'm currently running a 5.5 pound. Honestly, at that you probably won't. If you're shooting like long range PRS matches, then you will. But if you're doing like 3-gun, like running and gunning stuff, you don't notice it near as much. And I find that the better the break, the less you notice the weight.
Yeah.
But so, and Craig was giving me shit because as I pulled out and, was bump firing it, I did the, like, how it's going to be a good joke, and looked over both shoulders. and then bump fired. He's like, what are you waiting for? Someone to come on and be like, arrest you for a machine gun because you're the machine gun? I was like, yeah, you kind of got a point.
Yeah.
And but that's where even running that, and but here we go. Isn't it fair to say that you may not be distracted, but you still could be you still could be affected by the trigger? And you still could have that, and that has to do with your mechanics and dry fire. If you get really used to, so when I really learned how to shoot a handgun and like started moving on and got to where I was shooting at a higher level for military shooting competitions, and I was doing a ton of dry fire, but I was doing almost all of my dry fire with a Beretta in double action. So I was training with a heavier, longer trigger pull. And then when I started shooting, in competitions where we're shooting in single action, I already had built that skill and muscle memory to hold everything solid through that longer trigger pull. And that really, really helped and improved everything I was doing.
Yeah.
So there's other things that you can do to help improve with your competition stuff. And one of the best of those is get quality gear. And are you in need of reliable custom Kydex holster? Well, then Klecker Tactical is your one-stop shop. Using premium USA source material, Klecker Tactical will build you a holster in a variety of styles and colors along with light and laser options. Whether you're in law enforcement, a competitive shooter, or an everyday gun enthusiast, trust that Klecker Tactical will provide every firearm owner has access to top tier and personalized holsters, as well as quality custom products that you can't find anywhere else. Use code AR-15 podcast for 10% off at KleckerTactical.com.
Guys, I don't want to brag, but Klecker may have sent me a few holsters that I'm testing for him right now. And once we get some good data, yeah, we'll fill you in a little bit more. Just a little tease that testing out some new holsters. Super happy with the results of them right now. Have a few ideas for him down the road.
Look at you using words like data.
Yeah, dude. We're gonna do that now. We're those guys.
I'm making you a nerd.
I was always a nerd. I just wasn't a gun nerd. Now I'm becoming a gun nerd, and people are like, "Man, you were weird before. Now you're really weird." I'm like, "No, I'm just home."
Well, and like I probably get called weird, just rarely to my face.
No, I've been called weird. Weird is the least of my things I've been called. That I'm like, oh.
Well, again, we've covered this before. It's probably because you look more friendly, and it's like, oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, he's a weird guy over there, and I generally don't look like people want to come talk to me.
Well, when I wear vibrant shirts, that.
Hey, I am wearing a bright and colorful shirt right now.
You are wearing a Canadian tuxedo undergarment.
No, this is not denim. This is. Okay, so, Zapata here says, what would I expect when entering a 3-gun competition? Any tips? I've been told about the 180 call, so I've been warned about that already.
Yeah, don't break the 180.
Yeah, don't break the 180. Competition shooters are probably the most friendly people on the planet. If you show up to a competition, I've literally seen people, oh man, like I do this. Hey, no problem. I don't have this. Oh, you don't have a gun? Here, have mine.
Yeah.
It's
as long as you bring your own ammunition and eye and ear protection. If you don't have the equipment or say the gun, it depends. If you're going to a bigger competition, people are going to help you out no matter what. They're not going to hoard their knowledge. This is a place to learn. People want people to get better. That's the only way anyone gets better is by shooting with good competition. And so they're not going to hold you back in any regard. Yeah, there's things you can do not to be dumb to hinder that, but no one's going to make fun of or look down on you for showing up and trying.
But also when you're showing up, especially if you're doing 3-gun, 3-gun USPSA, IDPA as well, when you show up and you're just getting started with competition, don't worry about going fast.
Please don't. I did the fast thing, and that will wreck your confidence and going forward. Don't go fast. Worry about fundamental shooting when you're first starting out.
Worry about accuracy, and you'll see dudes like sprinting and running. And remember this: you can never miss fast enough to win.
Correct.
And that's a thing where when you're getting started with this, like we've been talking about modifying guns, and don't get wrapped around the axle trying to buy a better golf game. Go out, run what you have, focus on accuracy over speed.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're accurate, speed will come.
Yeah.
And like as you go through, it's like, okay, yep, we're moving fast. And like, I'll be honest, I at one time was a guy who, well, I had a pistol that I kind of had to do the John Wick mag flip in order to clear mags out. And I would run and I'd be like, and shoot mags just like across. And it was because I was clearing the mag out and throwing things. And I've since changed pistols as well because I have one that isn't as tight of a mag well. But I was doing theatrics I thought would make me faster, but economy of motion made me speed up.
Yeah. It's a Zapata, don't worry about having the slowest time because, again, if you're accurately shooting and you're hitting those A target, the A zone target shots, a guy might be running 15 seconds faster than you, but if they're hitting C and D zone shots, because you're hitting A zone, it'll even out. So don't worry about speed. Go out there and work on fundamental shooting first, and once you actually are, able to line up a sight picture and shoot accurately and stuff, speed will come, like Nick said.
Yeah. Speed will come. No, just go out, get on target, get shooting. I know dudes who showed up to their first competition and they had like a crappy holster and were keeping their spare mags in their pockets. And
I was, again, just when you're going to use examples, just say it was Garth. It was Garth.
It wasn't you. That's not the guy I'm talking about.
Okay, good.
Because this guy was shooting a Beretta.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I never shot Beretta in competition. But I was just going to actually, I haven't looked on there in a while, and I don't know. Maybe I'll have to put a post out on our social media. But Zombies is coming up here. Zombies in the Heartland is coming up here in like 2 months. And last I checked, there were still spots open to shoot on Nick and I's squad.
I believe there's still two spots in the squad.
Two spots? Oh.
Yes, but you know what else is coming up? And this arguably might be even cooler than Zombies in the Heartland.
Oh, I know we're going to go, even though I know where it's at, which now every time I think of it, I think of that damn song.
Yes, because all the little chicks with the crimson lips say Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. Actually, and I am talking about GunCon coming up June 28th. GunCon in Cleveland, Ohio. Guys, that is the date. Tickets are on sale now. If you haven't bought your tickets, go buy them already. And guys, come buy tickets, hang out. You get free lunch and a t-shirt. And you get to hang out with us. We'll be there. VSO Gun Channel will be there. Dangerous Freedom, Sean from Dangerous Freedom. We like shooting, and a ton more people will all be there. And this is a great event that I know it's one of our favorite events to go to because we get to hang out with you guys. And guys, seriously, come to it. It'll be a ton of fun.
I had no idea how many people actually listen to our show until last year's GunCon, when I met so many of you guys last year and realized you weren't there as social media, but you were actually there because you listened to our show and you listened to the We Like Shooting show, and you're here as fans and now friends. And what a blast that was. And I hope to relive that experience from last year this year, even though it's in Cleveland. The best part about it being in Cleveland is I'm going to wear my Rick Vaughn jersey at least 3 days in a row.
And we may even hit up the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That, and not to say anything that may or may not happen, but there may be a live show that may take place at a particular time, and
we may set up something to have a live show with you, the listeners, and audience participation.
So just saying, if you want to come be a part of that, fly yourself to Cleveland, like we're going to drive. I mean, drive if you want to. It's 18 hours for us. We thought about it because Nick and I would prefer to drive than fly, but we're flying.
Oh no, I would very much so prefer to fly private.
Oh no, private. Yeah, I talked to a guy about flying private, but that would have cost us some dinero.
Well, Dr. Scary Guy, pants down hugs. Don't tempt Garth with a good time.
All right, first of all, y'all see this? I didn't buy this for $9.99 because I think I deserve it.
The reigning gay chicken champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. He wound up owning a bed and breakfast in Vermont once.
Oh shoot.
Yes, indeed. And you know the only thing more awesome than that?
Hmm.
Those are stickers, because everyone needs awesome stickers. And you know where you can get them? You can get them made at stickerphantom.com. You can get all kinds of base stickers, like our Steamboat Willie here, or my personal favorite, Based Bluey, and much, much more. Now you can get all those. That's where we produce or get all of our stickers made. That's where you guys, if you need them, you should check them out as well. And you can get 10% off your order with code AR Podcast.
Oh, John, if there's karaoke to be had, I will sing some karaoke.
He will. So, pop quiz for anyone listening. Would anyone like to guess what Garth's favorite song is to sing in karaoke, or one of them?
Oh no, I was gonna name them, but this is way better. This will be enjoyable.
Yes, we'll keep talking for a little bit, and we're just going to see if anyone will comment on Garth's favorites, because I know what his favorite is. Oh, you are close. You're in the right vein there, Dr. Scary Guy. You guys are almost there, and Girls is on the right track.
It's close.
And there may be this many of them.
Nice,
but,
nicely done.
I will say that Garth makes fun of my karaoke.
I don't make fun of your karaoke. I just think we have very different styles. I appreciate your style, like I know you appreciate mine. You have a very narrative voice.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. What's going on?
Oh, 49 Blondes. If you haven't lived till you've seen a 6'4", 330-pound man sing that song and crush it.
Yes, it is. It is always 4 non-blondes.
I'm Hungry Spice. That's who I am.
Yeah, and when I get up and sing, apparently because I sing old storyteller country songs, which is apparently a narration. Because Garth's like, yeah, all of the songs you sing aren't really singing.
Yeah, they're narration, but you kill it every time. People go nuts.
That's just because no one sings the songs I do.
No, they don't.
Because we're gonna be close, but we're not gonna be at Lake Michigan. Otherwise, we talk about when the gales of November come calling.
I mean, we could, yeah.
So that's been karaoke talk.
Yeah.
I'm sure our sponsors love when we go down rabbit holes like that. But
hey.
No, we could definitely find some karaoke somewhere and get in trouble.
We're gonna find some karaoke. We're bringing the fans. We're bringing the We Like Shooting guys.
Now, John, no, I don't know how far back you've gone in the in the tales and saga that is our podcast, but I am not singing.
Man, if there was one song that we could copyright to be the new ending of this show, Happy Trails would be it. I love that song.
There you go. You should have AI do a version of Happy Trails.
You know, so I've been playing with AI to find us maybe some new music. I don't know. We're playing with some ideas, but I entered in a written song.
Because I'm 6 foot from the end.
Yes. No, but it wasn't that song. But I entered a song in, and it wouldn't actually play it because it recognized that it was already a established song, and it wouldn't play it anymore. And that changed in the last few months because I had done a few before, and they turned out actually pretty sweet. But so I had to get creative. But yeah, I mean, have you guys watched the video with Creed where it actually shows the music video as if, you know, in real time? So when they zoom out and stuff, you can barely hear it. It's so great. I love that.
Well, guys, this has been talking about when things go too far.
Oh, we haven't begun to defile ourselves yet.
Nonsense. I've not yet begun to defile myself. Oh, no. Yes, this will be great. And yes, Klecker, my singing voice is very much so like my radio voice.
Oh, I bet you could kill some Josh Turner.
I was known to back in the day.
Well, then I think it's time to bust it out at GunCon.
We'll see.
I'm going to start looking up karaoke places right now, so we're prepared.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Yes, we will find this. We'll have this going on. Garth, do you have any parting words of wisdom to people?
Yeah, guys. I mean, it doesn't matter what modification you do. I believe it was Drew said it earlier. Your rifle is never complete. It's never complete until you say it's complete. So do whatever modifications you want. I'm not here to judge you on it because I've done enough modifications to mine and I'm still doing it. There's always something better we can do with our rifles because that's the whole mantra of the show. Whether you're a first-time AR owner or if you've been building them for years, there's something we can all do to make our black rifles better.
Now, like, that's my jam. Throw on some Marty Robbins. But that, and honestly, I might be a little bit more of a Buck Owens fan because a tall, dark stranger is danger. But no, guys, and when we get through this, I know we talked about modification. I have guns that are done. I have guns that until something on it breaks, I'm not going to change a thing on. Like I could not be more happy with how I have a couple of my setups, and they work. They do exactly what I want them to do, and that's where they're at and where they're going to live. I also have guns that are a continuous evolution because it's, hey, I'm trying this. Everyone knows that I'm kind of I'm almost a geardo. Like I kind of am, and like there's a kind of am.
Yeah, glad you picked that up. Kind of.
But I'm always willing to test something. I'm always willing to try something out, and I will pick something up and run it, and then give my honest thoughts about it. And
I mean, to be fair, you have a gun set up strictly for testing products.
I have one set up just for testing optics and things like that. Yes,
yeah. So right. I mean, yeah, come on.
I have a test gun. Like, yes. What's this? This is a gun I know exactly how it's going to perform. What's it going to do? I'm going to put guns on it, or I'm going to put optics on it. I'm going to put whatever on it because it has a proven track record that I can run. And like, yeah, that one changes. Well, it hasn't changed in a while because it's been running that Gideon Guardian LPVO first focal plane, and I'm still really impressed with that. Only have one real complaint about it, and that is the eye relief, but that's just a thing with first focal plane LPVOs.
Nope, I get that. So yeah, I'm just saying that the whole might be a gear, yeah, 100% are, but
yeah, I'm also willing to try things out and test them, and I'll tell everyone what I think of them. And maybe be looking for some more of that stuff coming out soon. Absolutely. And yeah, as we delve more into video content, but because we don't have bags of cameras laying around now. But so guys, check out what we're doing on social media. We're gonna have Garth did another awesome video we're gonna be publishing this week. Kind of doing a recap and his thoughts about when we did our wall test. And it is a solid okay, I'm going to mention this quick. I did just get a Geisley reliability enhancement kit with supercharging handle, and I'm stoked about it. You mentioned you dislike Geisley, but what do you think about? So I don't dislike Geisley. I said I need to be clear on that. I've talked shit about them before. I've never called them bad products. I have called them overpriced. I have called them fanboy products, but I've never called them bad. and they make a super super solid product. I will say that I've yet to find a product they make that is really bad, like really and truly bad.
Nick would just rather make fun of the guys who purchase the products because that's all they believe that there is out there in the market than make fun about that specific product.
It's guys who buy it because, and this is one of those, as an idiot talking to you on the internet. As some, there's people who listen. It's like the guy on the internet said this is what I needed to have.
Yeah.
And I know those guys, and I'm like, hey man, that's cool. I understand that's what Instagram says you need to have for clout, but have you tried anything else?
It's like first-time gun buyers buying a High Point, and they're like, "This is the greatest gun ever." And while we love the guys at High Point, we love them dearly. They're awesome people.
They are. They are definitely better than the people that make the Austrian High Points, and like, because High Point will come on and they know who they are.
Oh, they know who they are and they own it, and that's why we like them.
Yeah, and Glock will sell you horse semen.
Yes.
I took my wife primitive camping near Pictured Rocks, which I believe is in the UP, and slept with a 9mm to 12 gauge AOW. My wife thought I was crazy until we met a ranger, and he told us he thinks a bear got one of his partners.
Whew. That's one thing I'll never want to be a part of. Bear attack. No thanks.
No, but I do want to hunt a bear.
Oh, I want to hunt a bear. I dropped a rock on a bear. 100%. I was in college. It was raiding our dumpster, and so we walked up the third story and dropped about 8.5-pound rock on its head. I've never, from the Great Outdoors, when the guy when he shoots the bear with the glass bulb shotgun and he runs off into the forest screaming, and I'm not going to make that noise because it's so.
Oh, please do. I need to hear it.
No, I'm not gonna attempt that. But that's basically what it sounded like once that rock hit that bear's head. Yeah. This thing was pretty big. I was like 5.5 feet tall, standing. It was standing on its hind legs and standing up straight. I was like, holy crap, that's kind of a big bear.
That's a big bear. Big bear.
Big bear. Yeah. So.
Yeah, the bald-headed killer bear of Clare County.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like the bald-headed bear of Sully County.
Too low.
What?
What?
Big bear sandwich.
Big bear. Big bear.
Indeed. No, guys. You know what I'm about to say now, because we're going to get ready to close this out. And I'm going to encourage everyone once again to go out and get training. Guys, get training. It's imperative to do that. It's fun. Learn it. Do something to make yourself a better human. And get medical training. And remember that as we go through this, like, we live in a crazy time. A lot of people are living in their own echo chamber right now and thinking things are amazing and this is the best time in the world to be alive. And there's people who are saying the exact opposite because they're on a different side politically, or they think something else is crazy is going to happen, or that there's going to be a giant crazy recession because of tariffs. And when we go through all this other stuff, remember you are responsible for yourself and those around you. Like, if you choose to be that way, and make sure that if you decided to take care of people, that you can take care of them. But go out, get training, get medical training, and remember that you will be your own first responder, and no one is coming to save you. And with that, you folks out there, stay safe and